Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're actually talking about how to counter the top 5 decks of the format right now. I will say this is one of the most like loosey-goosey, that's not a good use of that term, but loosey-goosey formats that we've had. We saw like Salmon Grid over the weekend get first place. We've seen Tri Brigade it is a very relevant deck. We've seen Virtual World is still a very powerful deck even after the All Calamities getting banned. But today we're just going to talk about how to beat the 5 best decks of the format. I had that as Dragon Link, Shaddoll Invoked, Eldritch variants, and like Zulich is included in that. And we'll talk about Pure Zoo as well, but I think Eldritch variants is definitely I think Eldritch, Pure Eldritch is better than Pure Zoo. Prank Kids, I couldn't find a good picture for Prank Kids. Is this a good picture? And then Dinosaurs. Right. I thought about doing this all in one video, but I actually think it's better to do this each in its own video, because maybe you're really good against one of these decks, but not really good against another one of these decks, right? Without further ado, it's already on the screen, so we'll just talk about this now. Dinosaurs. Right? So what are, like, to start off, what it's like the cards to play around. Obviously there's Ultimate Conductor Tyrannus. Right? Obviously that's a huge card. Once he's on the board, it's kind of like a wrap. It's kind of over, right? If they're able to back it with a miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, right? Now, there are ways to counter this card while it's already on the board and protected by miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, and a lot of people don't know that, right? A lot of people don't realize that you can still counter this card even if it's literally unaffected by card effects and a 3D 500 attack beat Book of Moon for all your, or like really, I guess, Swords of Concealing Light. Because he can't flip down Link monsters, right? So he's got 3,500 attack. That's beefy, right? But we do see situations where Access Code Talker can get really beefy. Boral Sword Drive can get pretty beefy. And really what this deck's trying to do, it's really not, it's not like a super conventional going second deck. You look at a lot of going second decks in the past, like Cyber Dragon, Crusadia, but those decks, they're just trying to OTK. They're just trying to kill you literally as soon as they win second, right? Mermail is another good example. Dinosaur is kind of trying to do that, but really it's trying to go second because it can't make a first turn board that's that detrimental. And that's why we've seen Dinosaur kind of slip out of the meta, and that's why I think it's like the 5th, to be honest, out of the 5 decks. Obviously they can make the Dolkas, obviously they make the Lagias, but if you're playing a good enough deck, you should be able to play around that pretty easily. If you're playing a deck that can definitely go second well, and there are a lot of really relevant decks. I actually just mentioned one, Cyber Dragon. It's a pretty relevant deck right now that can go second, obviously. Virtual World can go second, Prank Kids, Dragon Link can go second. You're going to want to make this deck go first. They don't get access to UCT. They're in a really bad spot. Now, obviously, they could just hard draw it, but they also have to hard summon it too, because they kind of like to summon it off of the pill, just because it's a little bit more resource efficient. And really good cards against this deck are cards like D-Shifter. D-Shifter is disgusting. Let me read Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus actually while it's here. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. So, if you play D-Shifter, they can't play Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus. And also, if you look at a card like I said, Artifact Lancia, he's so good because now they can't banish. I think a well-timed Ash is really good too. You really got to be careful. You don't want to you don't want to Ash too soon. Usually, I think the rule of thumb is just like Ash the babies, Ash Petite Dragon, Ash baby Ceratosaurus. So that's kind of it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. What tips do you guys usually have for beating dinosaurs? Be on the lookout because I'm going to try to post all 5 of these today, just for every single one of these decks and how to beat the meta.